Before Jamestown had a foothold, and before Charleston became a port, before anyone called this place North Carolina, there were the Tuscarora. Now, there were people before them, of course, because Native Americans lived here for hundreds of thousands of years with before the Tuscarora. But the ones that encountered the new English and Europeans coming here, they were the Tuscarora. And for generations, they ruled the backwater rivers, the longleaf pine. They ruled the coastal plains from Roanoke to the Neuse. Hunters, traders, diplomats, and defenders of a land that the English eyes called empty, but it was far from it. But by 1711, emptiness was a lie. Slave raids, broken treaties, stolen rivers. Out of that betrayal, a single sunrise would ignite the bloodiest colonial war of the South, and in a lot of recollections, the entire nation would ever see. Two men, two visions, same nation. One would strike back, the other would survive. This is Run to the Hills, the story of Chiefs Hancock and Tom Blount, rival Tuscarora brothers whose choices opened the Carolina frontier and changed the entire shape of America. September 22nd, 1711, Bath County, North Carolina. Dawn breaks over a settlement called Hancock's Fort. 40 white families still asleep after Sunday prayers. Across the Neuse River, Coree and Mattamuskeet warriors slip through cypress swamps, guided by Tuscarora scouts. Their target isn't just revenge for slave raids and land theft, it's the future of every English colony south of Virginia. Swiss settler Christoph von Graffenried watches from his palisade as 500 warriors materialize out of the fog, canoes packed with muskets. In minutes, 130 colonists lie dead, 30 women and children taken captive. Von Graffenried barely escapes with his life. This isn't random violence, this is war. Two Tuscarora chiefs sit at the heart of it. One demands blood, the other seeks survival. Their rivalry doesn't just burn eastern North Carolina, it opens the entire coastal plain to English settlement, including Johnston County's longleaf pine forest, once safe Tuscarora deer stands that had been cultivated to be so, to be turned into English tobacco fields. Now step back to 1700. North Carolina, again, barely exists. You have like 3,000 Europeans that have now made a new home here, scattered along fragile coastal towns. Bath, New Bern, Albemarle, they're just like crossroads. No forts worth mentioning. Tuscarora Nation, on the other hand, dominates 19,000 people across 120 miles of coastal plain from the Roanoke to the Neuse. Northern towns along Continental Creek. Southern towns hug in Pamlico Sound. They hunt deer in longleaf pine from what becomes Johnston County to the Sounds. They fish the Blackwater rivers. They trade deer skins for English cloth, rum, gunpowder. Chief Hancock rules these southern towns, Continental, near modern Snow Hill and Kinston. His people, well, they begin to suffer first. Virginia and Boston slave traders paddle down the Neuse before there are any English towns, offering trinkets for Tuscarora children. English surveyors from New Bern grab land with forged deeds that they just probably wrote. Von Graffenried's Swiss-German settlers plowed straight through sacred ground, and Hancock warns Bath's governor, stop the kidnapping, honor the treaties you made, be honest men. But those polite letters, well, they were ignored. And by 1711, Chief Hancock's patience snaps. Across the Pamlico, Chief Tom Blount leads northern towns along the Roanoke, modern Bertie County. Blount plays a different game. Virginia traders supply his muskets and powder and iron tools. His warriors hunt for English markets. Blount Hall, his trading post, keeps his people fed, armed, and prosperous. Where Hancock calls a war council, Blount stays silent. September 1711, Hancock says he's had enough and he strikes and burns New Bern, besieges Bath. Von Graffenried gets captured and ransomed. North Carolina's 3,000, new white North Carolinians faced 19,000 Tuscarora. Governor Hyde of North Carolina begs Virginia for help. Virginia said, "You're on your own, pal." South Carolina smells opportunity. Remember, these colonies don't owe anybody anything. They don't owe each other anything. The colony of North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina, they're all independent capitalist ventures. They don't owe each other anything. South Carolina owes no help to North Carolina and refused to give it. It smells opportunity. South Carolina does. Colonel John Barnwell marches north with 500 Rangers, 400 Yamasee, and Catawba warriors. Hancock retreats to Narrhantis Fort on the Neuse, earthworks, sharpened stakes, 1,000 fighters, and Barnwell arrives in Christmas of 1711. Siege drags on. Dysentery kills his Native Americans faster than bullets. Hancock slips warriors through swamps, harasses supply lines. February 1712, Barnwell withdraws, 40 people dead, 200 of the Native Americans, and then 40 of the whites. Hancock claims victory, but disease ravages his towns. Starving families eye Blount's full granaries across the river. Spring 1712, English emissaries cross over to Blount's country, offer him Hancock's throne. Unite all the Tuscarora, they say, if only you can betray your southern kinsmen. Blount hesitates. Weeks pass. South Carolina sweetens the deal. Okay, not only South Carolina says, not only will you be able to be the king of all the Tuscarora, we will give you perpetual English protection and unlimited trade. Your families will never go hungry again, and you will be king of all the Tuscarora. And Blount agrees. June 1712, Blount's warriors surround Hancock's camp during treaty talks. Hancock was surprised and then captured alive and dragged to New Bern and hanged in chains as the ringleader. Blount's men take 30 scalps of Hancock's lieutenants, and the Tuscarora War ends. Blount was crowned King Tom, first native leader ever granted English reservation land. Johnston County's pine forests that the Tuscarora once hunted now become English plantations almost overnight, and a very, very hard lesson that Tom Blount himself had to learn, much to the degradation of all the Tuscarora that believed in him. These rival chiefs were Hancock and Tom Blount. Hancock, war chief of the southern Tuscarora, struck first against slave raids, land theft, broken promises. His 1711 attack burned half of white North Carolina, bloodiest per capita colonial war ever fought on American soil. Tom Blount was the diplomat of northern towns. He chose survival. He betrayed Hancock for English protection, one Indian Woods reservation, 56,000 acres along the Roanoke, first land treaty east of the Mississippi, ruled as king for 30 years, buffering Tuscarora between expanding settlement and vanishing tribes. And his decision, on the other hand, opened Johnston County from native hunting ground to English tobacco frontier. The English took that too, despite what they promised. Imagine this had not happened. What if Hancock had not attacked? The English would have flooded the Pamlico unchecked. Tuscarora would have been scattered before 1720. There would have been no buffer tribe slowing the settlement. The Carolinas could have very well merged earlier. There may not have been a North and South Carolina, just a Carolina. There would have been no Yamasee War of 1715 that delays Georgia 20 years. What if Blount had not betrayed him? What if He chose his kinsmen instead. Hancock could have united all 19,000 Tuscarora. Barnwell would have been crushed. North Carolina collapses as a colony in 1712. Virginia would have faced unbroken native alliance to Roanoke, no safe southern flank. America's colonies would have fractured decades early, and I don't think it's going so far to say that, well, as most of some of these episodes go, American history is very different if it exists at all. Two Tuscarora chiefs determined if America expanded or stalled, or ceased altogether. Textbooks skip then for Powhatan, Pontiac, Tecumseh, those rival brothers who decided North Carolina's fate and opened Johnson County for settlement. Hancock's fire, Blount's pragmatism, and I guess you could say treason vanish entirely from those textbooks. Those are the Tuscarora twins that opened the door for modern America, one way or the other. That's that. Good day.